Have you been thinking about writing a book for a very long time, but not sure what to choose as your book's topic? Then this video is for you. My name is Jyotsna Ramachandran, and I'm the founder of Author Success Academy and Happy Self-Publishing. I've worked with more than 400 authors to help them publish their books. And inside the academy, we have more than 400 students now who are all at different phases of writing their books. And one common problem that I see many of them come up with is that they're not sure of what should be their book's topic. So if you're struggling with that same question, then I'm going to be showing you 5 easy steps. And if you go through each of these steps, then by the end of the 5th step, you should have your final book topic. All right, so let's jump into what I have for you today. So the first step is called the look inside approach. So when you're confused about the book's topic, the first thing you need to do is look inside. And let me tell you what exactly I mean by looking inside. All right, so you need to ask yourself a set of questions. So you are sure that you want to write a book. You're clear about that, but you're not really sure of what to base your book on. What should be that key book idea, right? So you need to ask yourself a set of questions which will probably give you more clarity. The first question is, what do I love doing? In your free time, what are the things that you love doing without somebody questioning you or without somebody holding you accountable? You just love doing these things. It could be cooking, gardening, it could be computer programming, whatever that is for you. Make a list of those kind of items. The next thing is, what do I love reading about? Basically things that you like to research. It could be on YouTube, it could be on Google, it could be reading magazines, books, taking up online courses. What are those areas that you like to keep updated about? So those are probably some topics which could be something related, something that your book should be based on, right? So make a list of those as well. The third question is, people ask my advice on what? Many times we may not know what we are good at, but people around us will know that. So maybe you're a great parent and you may not acknowledge that fact, but the friends of your kids, their parents will keep asking you questions on how come your kids are so well behaved? You know, how do you put them to sleep on time? So these are things that you probably are really good at, but maybe you don't know that that's your super skill. So what are the kind of things that people ask your advice on? The next question you're going to ask yourself is, I want to give my opinion on what? So when you see some debate happening on TV, on some news channel, you feel really passionate about that topic. You wish that they had invited you as the panelist so that you can share your insights on that topic, right? Again, it can be something related to what your profession is. It can be something totally different. That really doesn't matter. But you really feel passionate about those things. In a party, when people are talking about their next travel plan, you want to listen to it because traveling is your passion. So what on what kind of topics you want to go inside a gang and give your opinion on that, right? So make a list of those. Then on what areas have I got results? So you personally must have got results in some area or the other in your life. Maybe your profession is marketing, but over the last 6 months, you've lost 30 kgs or whatever, right? So whatever is that one area where you have got some results, please make a note of those subjects also. Then ask yourself, whom can I help using this expertise? So far, all the questions were based on you. What are the things you like? What are the things you are good at? What are the things you're passionate about? It's all focused inside. This last question will help you take this internal thing and help others. So this question is all about how can you use this expertise that you have and whom can you help using this? Now you can make a set of maybe 2 or 3 target groups that can benefit from your expertise. Right? Maybe you're a social media expert. You could help a lot of fresh college graduates to develop their social media skills so that they can get employed. So that could be one set of people you want to help. Or maybe you just want to help startup owners because you feel that startups have the potential to grow if they market themselves well on social media. So you want to help them. Or maybe you want to help agency owners, people who already run their social media agencies. You want to coach them. So it's the same expertise you have, which is social media marketing, but you can help different segments of people based on whom you want to help. So think about that for a moment. Okay, so as I'm guiding you through this, feel free to pause this video and write these answers for yourself. Okay, so that was the look inside approach. The idea for this is to give you a rough idea about your book topic. So whatever we are doing is not the final book topic. It will just kind of give you a rough idea about your book's topic. The next approach, the next step is called the look outside approach. So what you're going to do here is, now you're going to ask a different set of questions, but now it's all based on what you see outside. Okay, so these are the questions you're going to ask yourself. The first question itself is, whom do I care about? Which are those set of people whom I feel closely connected with? So this could be like anything that you really feel for, maybe organic farmers, or maybe new moms, or maybe women going through menopause, whoever you want to connect with, or people who are going through some challenge in life and you are somewhere connected to that challenge, and that's why you care about those people. So whom do you care about? The next thing is, whom do I want to help? It should usually be close to whom you care about, right? Because you care about them, you want to help them. The next question is, what are these people's problems? So say an organic farmer may have 100 different problems. So put yourself in his or her shoes and make a list of all the problems that they are possibly going through. Okay, that's the third question you're going to ask yourself. Then the fourth question is, what do they want to achieve? Now, these are their goals, their aspirations, not necessarily a problem or a pain point, but it's the positive side of things. So if it's, say, a woman in her menopause, then probably she wants to, achieve a state where her hormones are balanced or something like that, right? Whatever they want to achieve, that's the ideal situation they want to be in. So make a list of those areas. And then finally, you're going to slightly look inward. So far, you've looked outward. Now you're going to put the focus back to you and you're going to ask, can I use my expertise to help them? All right, because it doesn't matter how many other problems people have unless you are in a position to help them. So the farmer may have 100 problems, but maybe you are really good at solving one of those problems, which is based on your expertise. So you're going to pick that one problem as the topic of your book. All right. So in the first approach, you looked inside, you came up with a list of all the things you love doing. And then finally you saw, whom can I help using that expertise, and you narrowed down on one of those expertise. Okay. Now you're going to do it the other way around. You're going to first look at what's happening in the world. What are people struggling with? Whom do you care about? And then you're going to ask yourself, can I use any of my skills or expertise and solve that particular problem? This is another approach, which is the look inside approach. There is nothing good or bad. You can try either of the approaches or you can use both. All right. Now we move on to step number 3. By finishing the step 2, you should have a rough idea about your book's topic. Step 3, which is about making it unique, this is going to help you to really make your book's topic very narrow and very precise. All right. And why is this important? Now I'll tell you about that. So it's really important that you select a smaller reader niche. So the thing is, if you write a very general book, okay, if you can generally write a parenting book, there are parents of all ages. Their kids belong to different age groups. So the challenge of a parent who has a toddler is very different from a parent of a teenager. So if you write a very general book, first of all, the book is going to be too long because it has to cover so many problems. And secondly, it won't connect directly with any one audience. Therefore, you need to make your book unique. There are 2 ways of making this book unique. One is you select a smaller reader niche. I will decide that my book is only for parents whose kids have just got married because they have that empty nest syndrome, right? So I want to only focus on that. And I'm going to give them solutions to come out of any possible depression or things like that. So I'm really focused on those kind of parents. So that way, instead of catering to all kinds of parents, I'm narrowing them down. That is one way. So whatever be your niche, social media, gardening, parenting, whatever be the case, try to make that book for one type of audience, one particular segment. Okay, it's okay to narrow it down to one person, and that one person itself could be a representation of 1 million people. So don't worry that you're trying to niche down too much. There's nothing like too much, because any one segment that you pick itself could have a lot of people who will fall under that category. So one way is to make it, choose a smaller reader niche. Another way is to package your unique trademark solution. All right, because see, if you're a weight loss coach and you've decided that your book is only going to be for new moms, you could teach that new mom several strategies to lose weight. but you have used a particular method which has worked for not just for you, but also for say 20 other moms. You make that your unique trademark solution and you make your book about that. Okay, so see how is your solution different from other solutions out there. You may think it's very similar to everybody else, but if you go deeper and look at the little steps, the little strategies that you teach, go ask your customers go ask your clients and figure out why did they choose you over somebody else, and they will tell you what makes you unique. So make that your unique trademark solution, give it a nice unique name which stands out, and make your entire book about that solution. So that way there could be 100 weight loss books, but yours is different because of that particular uniqueness in your approach. All right, so that's how you make your book unique. So what we have covered so far is you've had a vague idea of writing your book, then you use the look inside and the look outside approach to come out with rough ideas for your book, and then using that rough idea you're now trying to make that unique and narrow it down to a more specific book idea. Now it's time to see if that book idea will really work. I like to call this the litmus test. Okay, so there are a couple of ways to do this. Now you need to ask there are two kinds of questions again, inside and outside. Will this book work for your reader? That means, will enough number of people buy your book? So there are a couple of ways of doing this. One is to survey your audience. If you already have an audience, maybe there are enough number of followers on Instagram or Twitter or any social media, or you have a good email list, you've been blogging for a while, you've been making videos, then there are already a lot of people who are following your work. You might not have sold them anything, that's okay. But you can now survey that audience and you can check with them if this book can be a good solution. And they need not necessarily be your audience. It can also be a group that you belong to. Maybe you're in a parenting group, and it could be a WhatsApp group of parents whose children study in the same school. And you can now tell them that, see, I'm writing a book that I think will be super useful to all you guys, but I need your opinion before I go ahead and write that book. And then ask them a set of questions, see how their answers are, and then you decide if that book will really help them. So that's surveying your audience. The other method is research other books on Amazon, because there is a very high likelihood that there are several other books similar to your book idea. So you're going to go and do the research there, and you can do this in two ways. One is read the reviews. If a similar book has 100+ reviews and most of the reviews are positive, that means there are a lot of people buying that book and a lot of people are liking it. So there is a very high possibility that they will end up buying your book also. That's one way, reading other books' reviews. Another way is to see their sales rank. So if the sales rank is good, by good what I mean is, in the Kindle store, if the overall sales rank is of some of the top books in that category is less than 10,000, that is actually good, because it says that it's selling at least a few books a day. At least that book is regularly being bought. So these are the two ways where you're going to look at other books, look at least 10 books related to your topic and see if they've got good reviews, if they're selling well. If the answer is yes to both, then you should probably go ahead and write that book, because there are enough number of readers interested in that topic. So this is the first litmus test, which is for the reader. The second litmus test is for you. Are you connected enough to this book? Is this book something that you should really write? Okay, and there are 3 questions you need to ask yourself. If the answer to at least one of these questions is a yes, you should go ahead. The first question is it your profession? If you've spent the last 5 years, 10 years, 30 years doing the same stuff and you're an expert and you know enough about that topic because you belong to that profession, go ahead and write a book on that. Okay, so that gives you the authority to speak about that. That's one. Second is, it may not be your profession, but is it a mess which you have converted into your message? Maybe 3 years ago, you were diagnosed with cancer, but you were able to fight it like a warrior and you overcome that challenge. Now it gives you the authority to write a book on how one can, manage their mindset to fight cancer or something like that. So you had a messy situation in your life, which you are now making it as your message because you've been successful in overcoming that. It's not your profession. You're not an oncologist to talk about that, but you have personal first-hand experience, which makes you talk about that. So ask yourself if you belong to that category. Or the third one, okay, is that of a reporter. Now, who is a reporter? For example, I may be a movie buff, all right? It's not my profession, it's not a mess or anything of that sort, but I'm just curious about the process of, what do you call it, screenplay writing for movies. I have zero experience, but I am curious to learn that just out of my passion for movies. What I would do is I would just go ahead and interview 10, 20, 30 famous screenplay writers who've had a phenomenal track record. By interviewing them, I become the reporter. I get all their knowledge, I compile it into a book. I try to see if there is any similarity between whatever they are saying, and I present it to the audience as a consolidated book. That makes me a reporter. So I just have passion on that topic. It's not my profession, it's not my message, but I just want to be a reporter. So ask yourself if the answer to any of these three questions is a yes. If it is, then you pass the litmus test and you go ahead and write your book. Okay, so your litmus test should be a yes for both the reader and for you. Okay, that gives you a green signal to go ahead and move to the fifth step, where you're finally crafting the topic of your book. Now, by the way, guys, topic is not the title or the subtitle. That comes later. I'll make another video on that. But for now, let me show you how do you craft the topic. The topic should be written in this format. My book helps dash, which is your reader avatar, which is that one person who should be buying your book, overcome dash, which can be a pain point, or achieve dash, which is their goal, by dash, which is your unique trademark solution. So try to fit into your topic into this sentence so that you are now crystal clear. You're super focused that this should be your book's topic, and you have validated it. It connects to you, it connects with the reader, and you're confident, super confident to go ahead and write your book on this topic. So in the comments below, let me know if you've gone through this exercise and decided your book's topic. And please type out your topic in this particular format, and I would love to see and comment on that. And if you'd love to know more about becoming an author, I have a weekly webinar. So I will leave the link to the next live webinar below this video. Make sure you register for that. That's going to be a 90-minute webinar where I go in depth in teaching you my Insta author method. So I'll see you there, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.